test one, test one, test two, test one. Test one, test one, test one, test one. Hello. Okay, flip the switch and start the music when it's time. Yeah, everything's working fine. Okay. Good afternoon. It is time once again for another edition of Chamber Talk on Regional Radio KJEL. I'm Patty Burns, and we are broadcasting live from the offices of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. Now, Chamber Talk is brought to you by the Chamber of Commerce and by Local Makes Sense. And great guests today. We're going to be talking about, medicine. We're going to be talking about recreation. We're going to be talking about manufacturing and, about the Chamber of Commerce, of course. Mark Campbell, board member of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce, is my co-host today. Good afternoon.
Hi, Patty. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, I am so happy you could be here with us. Well, there's always cool things going on with the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce. As a matter of fact, coming up next week, May 2nd, is Business After Hours, and this is a big deal.
It will be a big deal. We had one back in late March, and I think we probably have 50 to 75 people at that event, and I would anticipate we'll have the same numbers at this one. So it's going to be Tuesday night, May 2nd from 4:30 to 6:30 at the Rail, and the Chamber is going to pick up part of the tab for your initial drink and appetizers, and then after that, the Rail is going to pitch in and offer discounts after that. So please stop by, whether it's for 15 minutes or the full 2 hours. Again, we want to see everybody there, give you a chance to network, get engaged to other chamber members, find out about their businesses and how you can help each other.
Absolutely. And, that's what these business after hour events are all about is, doing that networking. Sometimes we forget that other business owners are also our customers. And that is so important.
It is, and I think of the last event, there was a few people I had to push and prod to get there because they have a little social anxiety going into a room of people they don't know. So I told them, hey, look for me, I'll get you connected. And I got them connected with people that could help their business based on their location and what they did. So hopefully, if you have a friend that's a little bit nervous about attending, encourage them, tell them you'll meet them there, and I think they'll have a great night.
Oh, absolutely. Now, is this going to be upstairs at the Rail?
I would anticipate so. That's typically where the social events are held. So I would ask the hostess as you come in, and I assume they'll direct you upstairs.
So do they have a rope pulley or something to help me get up there?
Well, I feel your pain because I have two bad knees myself, and I'm always like, how many stairs am I going to have to go up or down? But I think they have rails that we can hold on to, and if you need
guess-
help, we'll help each other.
Rails at the rail.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, we've got some great things going on later on in the month of April. Well, I say later on. There's only a few days left in April, but coming up at Bennett Springs State Park, a really nice event is going on, including the Savannah Trail Hike. That's taking place from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Again at Bennett Springs State Park. 2.5 miles of hiking, and you get to enjoy everything, including spider webs. What? I don't know. If you would like more information, 532-4307. As I said, we've got some really great guests here with us today, and Dr. Renee Ridley is here. Dr. Renee is relatively new to the area. You came from Kentucky?
Well, Patty, actually, I was
The roundabout way?
born and raised in Western Kentucky. My husband and I lived in Texas for the last 14 years. I went to medical school at Texas A&M and did my training down on the border in McAllen, Edinburgh area at UTRGV, and the focus was in OBGYN.
All right. Why OBGYN? Why did you choose that field, that medical field?
That's a good question. But Patty, before I was a doctor, I was a nurse for 30 years. And that was one of my first jobs, was labor and delivery. Loved it. Just loved taking care of women and their newborns. And so about every 10 years, I would go back and try to do a little bit more with my education. And so on the 30th anniversary, my kids said, Mom, why don't you go to medical school now? So that's what I did. I took classes with them, actually, when they were in college to get the classes in that I still didn't have, and became an MD, loved my class at Texas A&M, and then it was an obvious choice to go into OBGYN because of my background.
And goodness, having the ability to help bring new life into the world, that's got to be awesome.
It is, and I mostly work in the clinic now, and to be able to see it from the very beginning is amazing, because each time you see that woman and she's getting a little bit more, showing now, and then as you get near the end, then you're answering those vital questions that they're concerned about, and most of the time they bring their families with them, and we can kind of share that event with all the questions and grow together.
And now you are at the Mercy Clinic at 120 Hospital Drive. Are you accepting new patients now?
Yes, ma'am. I'm there with Dr. Deborah Carson, and she and I are seeing patients there, and everyone is welcome, new patients including.
Oh, that's great. Do you work with high-risk patients and OB cases?
Yes, I share that with Dr. Carson, and if there's anybody that we think needs a higher level of care than what we can manage, then we send them to Springfield, and we co-manage them. They have the MFMs there at Springfield who help do the ultrasounds, and then we still manage the patients collaboratively.
All right. Now back to the non-high-risk patients. Delivery here in Lebanon? Correct?
Delivery here in Lebanon, yes.
And you walk with them from beginning to end, right? Or beginning to start a new start.
Right. I work just in the clinic at this point, so Dr. Carson kind of takes over in the delivery suite.
Oh, okay.
And so at this point, I'm still there from the beginning.
Yeah, that is great. And again, what a rewarding thing to be able to, help a mother, many times brand new mothers that have never, had this experience before, and to have someone like Dr. Renee to be there with you. I can tell you give off a really good vibe.
Thank you, Patty. I mean, we can't really forget about our GYN patients as well, because I see a ton of them. For Well Woman, our Pap smear guidelines have changed over the years. It used to be a yearly thing, but now the recommendation is every 3 years for those in their 20s, and you don't start until 21. And then when you're in your 30s and up, then it's every 5 years if you do co-testing. So we're up to date on all the recommendations for women's health all the way until, the end of life. So if you need care for GYN, we're also available for that.
Now, I've wondered here. Now we hear about the HPV vaccine. Do your patients have to come to you to get that, or can they get an HPV vaccine from their GM or GP, whatever?
Yes, well, it's actually started in the pediatrician's office. They will offer it to boys and girls when they're 9 years old. And if the parent is not open to that, then once that patient is an adult and they come to us, they're getting their pap smears, then we will still offer it to them, women in their 20s and 30s, and explain to them why that may be beneficial for them to get the Gardasil, which will guard them against the high-risk HPV, which leads to cervical cancer.
Yeah, I remember whenever the first time, the information started coming out about the HPV vaccine, the Gardasil, and I think there was another one too. Don't remember what it was called, but I remember, you know, Relay for Life. We made the big announcement, because it was announced like 2 days before our Relay for Life event, and man, it was great that we could announce that.
Yes, I was actually a professor in nursing. I was teaching maternal women's at that time. And when this news came out about HPV being the cause for cervical cancer, a lot of my nursing students were not aware. And so a lot of them were like, wait a minute. My aunt has cervical cancer. Are you telling me she got HPV from a sexually transmitted infection? And I said, well, the bad news is yes, she most likely did. So we've had to kind of retrain people's thinking because some people still think, well, it's hereditary. No, it's not. So, most of us are sexually active. So that is something that needs to be screened for early on.
And, you can always talk to your physician, your pediatrician, or now, what is the age cutoff now on that Gardasil vaccine?
Well,
Can't
if the patient is more than 35, then we have a discussion with them about whether that would be beneficial for them. Because if their pap smears have been normal up until that point, they may still benefit from it. People past a certain age, because HPV is such a slow-growing virus and cervical cancer is slow-growing, the older you get, the less likely it's going to be beneficial to you. So we really try to target the younger clients for that reason.
All right. You are accepting new patients. How do we make an appointment? Just call?
Yes, call the Lebanon OBGYN Mercy, and we have some really nice ladies up front. Miss Leslie, Miss Grace will get you in for an appointment. We're happy to see you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Renee Ridley from Mercy Clinic. She is an OBGYN and is accepting new patients here in Lebanon. Also here with us, earlier I was kind of talking about Bennett Springs State Park and the Savannah Trail Hike. Well, right up the road from Bennett Springs State Park is Ozark Hills Lodge. And for us locals who've been here forever and ever and ever, it's where Ollie's used to be. Chris Benny is here. And so, Chris, what in the world made you decide that you wanted to be part of a Airbnb
Well,
or a bed and breakfast, or what exactly is it?
it's actually an Airbnb. We are also going to have some help on staff where we will take people who are looking for last-minute lodging. So that's something that we're doing differently. The place has been open about a year, but that's something we're bringing on this summer. And so another thing that we think that we'll be able to offer to our guests.
Mm-hmm. So Ozark Hills Lodge, how many people can you accommodate? And what is different about Ozark Hills Lodge than just a regular run-of-the-mill hotel or motel?
Well, I think there's actually several things that we can offer that currently you won't find at those type of places. We're located on 3 acres, and our guests have full use of those facilities. It's a nice level flat yard with an amazing number of mature oak trees in the back where you can sit in the shade. The facility itself consists of 5 units, 5 suites, and again, something that's different with those, we can accommodate up to 24 people, but we can also, the way it's set up, there's interior doors that can be opened, so it can either be one a great big unit that can accommodate up to that large group, or you can separate it down or separate it at different times and make it into small little suites. And those suites accommodate anywhere from 2 to 6, depending on the one that you choose.
All right. So like a family reunion or a class reunion, a wedding party, anything like that would be
Exactly.
good for Ozark Hills.
Yeah, and again, I know that a lot of the businesses around here are really focused on the summer. We're trying to make it where this is a facility where you could use it year-round and host those big family gatherings, or like you said, business retreats, all those different things.
Now, do you have like a meeting room available, or would that all be developed in the lodge itself?
We don't, but I will say that we are a very short way away from, I hope you don't mind me giving a
Oh, no,
shout
go
out.
ahead.
Not sure if they're even a member, but I think it's called the Bennett Room. I think we're maybe a mile or so from there, and we're looking to contact them. We thought that might be a kind of a good combination, because we don't have just that large meeting room. I will say that the way that our suites open up, you could have rather large groups in the living areas. So I would estimate easily 10 to 15 people around several tables.
All right, man, that is great. Now, do you currently have openings? Are you booking right now?
We are, and we're kind of doing a soft run or a soft open where we've greatly discounted our prices. So if you go to ozarkhillslodge.com, you can really see the different suites, and those will link you to Airbnb. And at the Airbnb, you'll see that like I said, some of the rates are greatly reduced, trying to get some people in there, get some reviews going, and get the business off the ground.
All right. Now, they're located just 2.5 miles from Bennett Springs State Park. So, how convenient is that if you are, coming to Bennett Springs to do some fishing, or again, if you're just looking for a little getaway? They've got all the grounds. They got those 3 acres of, big mature trees. Maybe do some, bring your croquet set, or,
Be perfect.
yeah.
And we don't have it in yet, but we're, in fact, today we're actually working on a fence. Had to take a little break to come here to do this, but we're working on getting some entertainment on site as well, maybe some horseshoe pits and some cornhole. So
Yeah.
those will be available for our guests as well.
Oh, how great is that? Well, if you would like more information, again, it's ozarkhillslodge.com. They do have openings right now, so go to the website, check out what is available, and whether you are wanting to book this weekend or, 6 weeks from now or 6 months from now, go ahead and get your bid in now for a room, because, or a stay, because folks, once people hear about Ozark Hills Lodge, Chris Benny, they're going to stay there. No doubt.
Absolutely, and we are already getting bookings well into the summer, so get those stays booked now.
All right. Thank you very much. Chris Benny with Ozark Hills Lodge, located 2.5 miles from Bennett Springs State Park. So, this weekend in downtown Lebanon, this is exciting. Brian Thompson is here, and Cynthia is here with us as well. Crafted Lebanon Strong. What a cool name.
Yes, ma'am. I agree.
Yeah.
Totally, wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And
Did
it
you
looks
come up with
fantastic
that?
on. No, I got Mike Shoemaker did it, but don't
Oh,
say
okay.
that too loud. He'll get a big head about it. But
Oh, well, I'm sure.
no, actually, speaking of Mike, it was kind of his concept. So give him the props out there. And like I said, don't tell anybody I told you. But an event he had seen in Kansas City and kind of thought it would make sense in the Lebanon area. And we started brainstorming, and Cynthia, of course, on board, and had some similar ideas about doing something. So it all kind of came together for this Saturday, April 29th from 10 to 3 in beautiful downtown Lebanon. And I think the weather's looking better than it might have been a few days ago. So I've been
Okay,
kind of
good
on
deal.
weather watch the last week or so. Every day in Cynthia's office, is yours showing a better forecast than mine, and trying to get fired up about that. But again, 10 to 3, and so we're going to have companies along Commercial Street from Jefferson to Monroe on one side, Jefferson and Adams on the other. And so I can kind of give you the list of This is the grand finale list, so if you're listening out there, these are just in order of what I'm looking at. I love them all. There's no particular order here, but G3 Boats, Missouri Eagle, Better Way Products, Marine Electrical Products, Low Boats, The Durham Company, Ice Cream Factory, Tracker Plastics, Tracker Marine, Willard Asphalt, Carmichael Industries, and the City of Lebanon will have a presence as well. So Chamber's also going to have a booth, downtown to have a booth, so we're hoping, again, great weather, a great atmosphere, everybody come down. The ultimate goal is for us to kind of, like in my job, I get to go in and tour industries on a regular basis and see them and bring partners in, and Cynthia gets to do some of that as well. But, most folks don't get to see that. So we want to kind of bring a tour outside of the industry into the forefront, and what a great platform downtown Lebanon, and a chance to maybe some of the employees of the companies haven't got to experience all the great things going on downtown. What an opportunity for all of us to come together on Saturday. And man, I'm just, talking today and knowing all the events going on this weekend, if you have the attitude that there's nothing to do around here, wake up, listen, turn the volume up, because there's a whole lot going on this weekend, and certainly encourage everybody to hit one and all events going on around Lebanon and this area.
All right. Now, Crafted Lebanon Strong is in downtown Lebanon, right on Commercial Street, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. And Cynthia Kaufman has kind of been helping, put this all together. She is the executive director for the Downtown Business District. So we know we have Crafted Lebanon Strong downtown. What else?
Well, Patty, we have the farmers market going on at the market on Saturday. So that's another thing that people can enjoy when they're downtown. All of our downtown restaurants, all 4 of them, will be open and serving folks for this festive occasion. And our stores are looking forward to having folks who may not have seen what we have to offer downtown actually come and step in the stores and see what we're doing.
So the boutiques and the retailers and jewelry stores and floor covering and all of that is all going to be open.
All open and ready to have customers.
Yeah, and then of course our restaurants. Lots of great food in downtown Lebanon as well. The cool thing about Crafted Lebanon Strong is this is an opportunity for people to see maybe products that they didn't even realize that was made right here in Lebanon. Who's fighting over the microphone over there?
Brian wants it, but I have
okay,
it. So
okay.
I was just going to add one thing, because I think what you're saying is really prevalent in Lebanon. I grew up here and have driven past so many of the manufacturing sites that Brian was just mentioning and wondered what goes on inside. What are they making? And there are shifts all day long. I know there are a lot of people employed there, but I don't know what they're doing. So this is an opportunity for us to get a peek behind those walls.
Absolutely. And, whether it's one tiny bolt that goes into a huge piece of machinery or a large piece of machinery, it's all made right here in Lebanon, Missouri.
Right here, and so I think it's a great, as Cynthia said, and it almost makes me speechless, because I can't say it a whole lot better than that. But yeah, it's that opportunity. And another thing is, so you'll see that boat, that Tracker boat or that G3 boat or Low Boats, but a lot of the companies also have suppliers that are right here in town that are making some of the components that go onto that. So really that synergy that we, again, if you're not living it, you don't realize it. And so we want to really celebrate our industrial excellence. We know we're the best in the world. We know it internally. We want to make sure everybody else knows it, and our employee base understands that and, appreciates the fact of, I was telling somebody the other day, hey, and they work in an industry here in town. I'm like, you make a product that goes global. It's all over the world. So be proud of that. It's not just, I'm just doing my job, checking in, checking out. You're actually making an international product. And so I think that's something we want to come out of this as well. So one of the goals is hopefully, a parent will show his or her, son or child or whatever, and a family member that, hey, this is what I do every day. This is what I make. So, and then next time you're on a lake somewhere and you see something go by, oh yeah, my parent may have made that right there. So kind of that cool synergy as well. Again, coupled with, hey, let's see what's going on downtown and all the great offerings they have to do, and learn more about upcoming events. And want to thank the Chamber as well. Several volunteers will be there in addition to the booth they'll have, helping out with some of the logistics. So really all, everybody just kind of coming together, collaborating. You got Ready, you got downtown, you got the Chamber, you got the City of Lebanon. Great to just have that partnership. And so, real quick, I'll shout out Jeremiah Fincher and Abby Dickinson are here from GoCap. So you can't see
GoCap's
them. You know they're here job shadowing, and so they're kind of listening in here. We won't put them on the spot and make them say anything. We just want to shout out to them for being here as well. And so they're the future. So actually, speaking of which, with GoCaps, they actually get to go in some of these places and see it on a first-hand basis. So kind of taking a little bit of that concept too, kind of combining it and making it right here live and in person in downtown Lebanon
Absolutely.
on Saturday.
And, regardless of where you live, if you can hear us talking right now, come to Lebanon on Saturday from 10 to 3 and check this out. Check out downtown Lebanon and what is going on there. There's no admission fee, unlike some other trade shows and activities. There's no admission fee. You just come and browse and check out, ask questions.
Yes.
I do have a question. I know
I'll
you're
give you an
tight.
answer whether it's true or not.
I know you're tight with the folks at the ice cream factory. Are they going to be bringing a cow?
Okay, well, I don't-
Because I mean that's the first step to making ice cream. Is cows. Did you know that, Brian?
Well, wait a second. But I don't believe there's going to be any cows walking along. Now, stranger thing. One time in another place I lived, I won't name the town, but actually I was looking out my front window and a goat went walking down the road. So anything's
Yeah.
possible, right? So
Yeah, and there used to be a downtown
there,
chicken.
you never know.
I don't know what happened.
You never
to
know.
it.
So, yeah, we're hoping no crazy instances that we have to report back or that end up on your My Ozarks online news or anything like that. So we hope it's all celebration and weather stays good. Do you want to mention Mitch Shields will be there performing as well? So didn't mention that earlier. So he's excited, looking forward to it. So just a great opportunity. And like I said, there's so much going on. Come hang out with us for a couple hours. Go across town, some of the other events. We really should support them all community wide. That's how these things can't take place without the support. So it's easy to sit back and armchair quarterback and say, we need more to do. We need to do this or that. Well, I can agree with that to a degree, but here's a chance to have a lot of those things. So those things can't take place if we're not out there supporting them. So
Absolutely.
there's my sales pitch.
There's your sales pitch. Thanks a lot, Brian. Well, Mark, we know, we've got Crafted Lebanon Strong downtown, and I mentioned the Savannah Trail hike taking place at Bennett Spring, but there's some other stuff happening too this weekend.
There is, and I was not aware of them, and I'm glad you brought it to our attention. The library's having an event Saturday, a concealed carry course, so that's going to be from 10:30 to 6, and then Healthy Kids Day is going to be at the Lebanon Family YMCA from 11 to 2. Also, again, as Cynthia mentioned, the farmers market, check it out. I came down the first week. They were open and bought some goods, and I assume they're going to continue to grow their product as warmer weather gets here. So a lot going on, and I'm much like Brian, hit all these places and support everybody.
And real quick, I want to expand a little bit on Healthy Kids Day at the Lebanon Family YMCA. That's in the Cowan Civic Center building there. It's going on from 11 to 2. And it's a free event. It's open to the public. They have bounce houses. They've got games, kid-friendly workouts. They've got local vendors that are going to be there. It's an event, and it's taking place 11 to 2. So, Mom, Dad, go downtown, check out Crafted Lebanon Strong, and then when you're done there, then you can head over, take the kids to the Lebanon Family YMCA and enjoy some of the activities over there. Always something to do in Lebanon, right, Mark?
That is correct.
Real quick, before we run out of time, what is one of the biggest benefits of being a member of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce?
Well, to me, I am all pro-business, and I think just knowing that there's somebody there to support you, whatever that may be, whether it's an educational need, whether it's a connection, hey, do I get involved with Ready? Do I contact them? Do I contact somebody at the state? So I think it's just having that support system there to make your business thrive. A lot of people need help, and it's been challenging over the last couple of years. We've had ups and downs and ups and downs. And so the small business owners, all business owners, they're my heroes. Those are the people taking the risk, seeking the challenge, and we need to do everything we can to support them.
All right. And if you'd like more information about becoming a member of the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce, you can call them here at the office at 417-588-3256. Mark, thank you for being my co-host today. Of course, thanks to Dr. Renee Ridley for coming in and sharing about her OBGYN practice. Brian and Cynthia, thank you both for coming in as well. You've been listening to Chamber Talk on Regional Radio KJEL. It's brought to you by the Lebanon Area Chamber of Commerce and Local Make Sense and by Regional Radio KJEL. Have a great day.